Hi, I'm Nick Pierce, the Barefoot Prepper from Are You Ready Radio, and here during our Tips from the Bunker segment that we're doing 2.0, it's during our shelter-in-place situation. I had a great message the other day about changing the wick in an oil lamp, and I actually have an oil lamp here that really doesn't need the wick changed, but I figured just to answer your question, I would do it. So I actually pulled the wick out just to be able to demonstrate this instead of chopping up this spool of wick that I have. And you could cut it down into like maybe a 6-inch section to do this. And some folks are so afraid, it's like, uh-oh, once my oil lamp runs out of a wick, how do I get a new wick in there? No, you don't unscrew the bottom or try to disassemble much of anything. It's actually quite simple. On most oil lamps, the top just pulls off, the back flips over. Now, getting a wick in an oil lamp is quite easy. First thing you want to do is just align it into a little opening that's inside right there where the wick comes in and out of. Another thing that may help you out is a toothpick or something just to push it down in there. Then there's a little thing here that actually controls how the wick comes in and out of your oil lamp. By pushing it down in there, you're going to feel a little pull and tuck it. And as you crank it, you'll eventually feel it catch. Once it catches, you turn it, most likely counterclockwise, to wind it in, just like you would clockwise to push it out. Now, it's very important that once you change your wick, get it in there until you barely see the tip. And then to close it, you just flip your globe over, secure it in place. You want to make sure that the oil is, or kerosene or whatever you're using in your lantern, gets absorbed through the wick. If you're using a dry wick and you go to light it, the only thing it's going to do is burn cotton or your wick. So Let it sit in there for a couple minutes. Let that fluid that's in your lantern get absorbed through it in order for it to light properly. So the wick has been sitting in there for a couple minutes now, so we know that the fluid is actually soaked into the wick. Turn it clockwise, or depending on your lantern, sometimes counterclockwise, in order to extend the wick out into the lamp. Once the wick is extended into the lamp, simply lift that up. You can use a match. I prefer a match. If you have a lighter, maybe you want to light a piece of paper or a small stick, such as the toothpick that you just used, to put the wick in there. Give it a little strike. Get the match burning. Hold it to the wick. And yes, sometimes if you don't have enough oxygen in there, it could take a couple tries, but that's okay. I'm going to try this one more time this way. If I wasn't talking so much and blowing the match out, it may have actually lit the first time. Now you are going to have a tall flame on there. Your wick is lit. See how much wick is on fire there? Bring it down into the base. Lower your lever here to bring the globe over it to seal it in. And then see how the fire is actually almost touching the top. Lower that down to there using your adjustment. You can actually see the more wick you let out, the bigger the flame, which means the brighter the light. Lowering the flame, the lower the light. So that's a simple way of changing the wick in your lantern. Of course, never light a dry wick or it's just going to burn like paper. Thanks for tuning in to Tips from the Bunker 2.0. My name is Nick Pierce, the Barefoot Prepper from Are You Ready Radio, also here with the Zombie Outpost. We look forward to seeing you again, and I hope that we helped you prepare and seriously think and answer the question, are you ready?